going to break? Welcome back to another episode of Gaming with the Broscast, episode 318. My name is Harrison. I'm joined by my brother Nick, as always. Nick, how you doing, buddy?
I'm good. Doing great.
Yeah.
Beautiful weekend.
Yeah. Good weekend. Had a great time. Big games came out last week, being the early access of Halo Campaign Evolved, which officially launches tomorrow, July 28th. But I would say even bigger than that, Splatoon Raiders came out.
So, surprisingly bigger than
sitting at like an 81, I believe, on Metacritic, but like the user score is like 9.2 or 3. Like it's, and I think I've put maybe it's over 10 hours at least into Splatoon Raiders since it came out. We played some co-op for it. Man, it is.
Oh yeah, we played like
heck of a game.
15 raids together or something like that.
It was one of those things where literally we would say, okay, this is the last one, and then one more, and then one more turned into like 6 more.
Yeah, because like each time you finish a round or each time you finish a raid, you have a bunch of stuff to do between. Yes. You're like, okay, I want to use the new gadgets or the new parts that I got.
Yeah. And it like it's so smartly designed because it doesn't put you into like your own like world or your own lobby. You're playing from your own game. So whenever you get kicked back out of the mission, now you can't like interact with your friends during that time, like while you're waiting for like the next level to boot up. But then that's when you get the opportunity to go in and upgrade all your stuff and tinker. And then tinker in the game. So we'll talk about that here in a second. I know we kind of want to jump into it, but. Nick, how was your week before we get started?
Week was good. Yeah. Week was really good. I guess go back to Splatoon for a second. I was so excited to get the game on Thursday. I had pre-ordered it physically.
Yeah.
And then Walmart started giving me the runaround saying, "Oh, it's delayed, but it'll still be here tonight. It'll still be here by 8 p.m."
Yeah, right.
It'll still be here. And then 7, 8 p.m. rolls around and it's like it'll be here by the end of the day.
That's the very frustrating thing about pre-ordering. Like, and that's like, I guess that's one of the negatives about pre-ordering a physical game. Which you don't have like stuff like Splatoon Raiders, Halo. You can just go into GameStop or wherever and
we
pick it up. Which is why like I'm always worried like for Zelda or. I think that was the most recent game I took off for, but I was like, man, like, or like this when the Switch 2 released, I was like, I took the day off and I was like, I hope this thing comes in like early. And surely Walmart, they dropped it off at like 6:30 in the morning for the Switch 2, which is insane. But yeah, I pre-ordered it from Amazon and, I got Star Fox 1 day early. So I was like, okay, Amazon stepped up their game. Like, that's awesome. Like, I didn't expect it to get it early this time, but, I looked at the app and it said shipped and I was like, okay, cool. Arriving on Thursday, and then I looked at the app on Thursday, and it still showed it like in a completely different state than where I'm at, and it didn't have an estimated delivery date. So I was like, I don't know if I'm gonna get this game or not. And then sure enough, like a couple hours later, they're like, it's coming tomorrow. I was like, man, which is end of the world, but When you have expectations and you have your excitement level for things, because it's good to be excited about things, in life, right?
Yeah.
And when something like that, you're like, man, that really stinks. But I ended up playing Final Fantasy VII that night, so it's all great.
And you texted me and said you picked up Halo early access.
No, that's what it was. Yeah, I picked up because I was, I booted up my Xbox and I was like, man. I've kind of heard some stories about Halo launching. It wasn't like in the greatest shape, or people were having issues accessing it. And I was like, you know what? Let me give it a chance. Like it's $20. That way we could talk about this week on the show.
Yeah.
So ended up getting the early access and all the crazy skins that they have. But yeah. So I had something to play anyways.
Skins. Yeah. So playing Halo was fun. Yeah, week was good. This weekend, I saw you this weekend. Went to your daughter's high school graduation party.
Yep.
That's fun.
Yeah, it's fun. I am like subbed out. Oh my God.
Yeah, same here. I'm subbed and chicken saladed out.
Yeah. Well, our buddy came over on Saturday and I was like, dude, you gotta eat like all this food because I'm definitely not going to.
Yeah, there's a lot. Good subs though.
Yeah,
It was to die for.
yeah, it's good.
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 It was good. And then Sunday, just chilled out.
Yeah, that's what I did on Sunday.
Played
a bunch of games.
Yeah, it was fun. How about you? How's your weekend?
It was good. Yeah, just nothing crazy work wise. Yeah, had a good weekend. Seeing everybody. Your baby's so cute, so freaking cute.
He's a cute patootie.
He's a cute patootie.
He's a patootie for sure. Yeah, I'm glad we came up because we got to see everyone, but I'm also glad because, and you know this, I'm more so telling the listeners, but me and my wife have an 8-month-old, and ever since he's been born, my wife has been sitting in the back seat with him when we travel anywhere, pretty much. And he's been like really bad in the car. Not bad, but he's been fussy in the car, and like would always cry, and like he could really only go 30 minutes and then he would start crying. And it was just going to and from the beach was kind of a nightmare.
Yeah.
And that was like a 3.5 hour drive. So we came to High Point and then started talking to you and Dad, and you guys were like, well, our wives didn't really sit in the back seat with our kids. Like, maybe on the way home from the hospital, but not really after that. So me and Alicia were like, yeah, well, we'll try it on the way home and see what happens. So what's
the worst? I mean, he's either going to be screaming and crying, or he's going to cry. Yeah.
So like he naturally cried right when we left, and for the first 15 minutes, and I even pulled off into our old neighborhood to switch. And then right when I did, we were like, well, let's wait until we get to the highway. Like there's a gas station right there. We'll stop and switch. Yeah. And then once we got there, he was asleep. Nice. So he slept for like an hour of the trip. Like he woke up a little bit and cried and then put himself back to sleep, which was awesome. So that was like the calmest hour of driving in the past.
It is like hearing a baby cry is never, it's not a good thing to hear in general, but especially when you're in a car and it's like echoing everywhere. It's like, man, it does make like the driving experience like miserable. So, but I'm glad. I'm glad you guys just locked in and, just got to let him cry for like 10, 15 minutes.
Yeah, and just got to let him figure it out.
Yeah. So that's good. That's good. And that's good.
The joys of discovering your baby.
Yeah. And everyone's different. I mean, no method is correct. It's like whatever works for you works. And, sometimes you take advice from people and sometimes that stuff doesn't work. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work.
But I'll tell you what, like that sense of euphoria you get when you figure out something works.
Yes. Yeah.
Unbeatable.
Yeah.
It really is.
Yeah. It's the best because you're like, it's being stuck on a puzzle, like a video game puzzle for hours. And then you find out and you're like, oh man. Or like you are fighting against a Dark Souls boss or something like that. And then you put the controller down for the night and you wake up the next morning and beat it on your first try. Like how many times have we done something like that before? So it's a good feeling.
It just felt unchained. I was like, where else should we drive to?
The world is our oyster now. All right, Nick. Well, let's dive over into what we've been playing. I'll briefly just kick off with been playing through Final Fantasy Rebirth. I think I'm about 30 hours into the game now.
Damn.
I am.
What chapter are you in?
Oh gosh, chapter 8 or 9. Like I'm past like the Costa del Sol. So I did all the crazy like Segway driving and all those fun mini games and stuff like that. Like man, and then now I'm actually in that area and I can actually explore.
Okay.
Yeah,
that's a fun area.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. It's a really cool area. So I think I stopped. I made it up the mountain where you're hiking. You have to like hike up the mountain. So I think I'm right after that part. So probably chapter 9, 8 or 9, something like that. Loving the game, man. It is still so good. I can't wait to finish it and then get ready for Revelations when that comes out next year. Like I'm so hyped for that game now.
Is that next February?
I don't know if did they give a official release date for that,
or they just say next winter.
They might have given an official release date. Let's see. Early 2027 is what they have right now.
Okay.
I hope it's not February because, man, February is already kind of packed with, we'll talk about God of War here in a little bit, but that's coming out in February. We know the next Resident Evil is probably somewhere between January and March or April. That's usually Capcom's like sweet spot for their games.
Oh, yeah.
So it's going to be, man.
And Fable. Wait, did you say Fable?
No, I said God of War. Oh. Yeah, Fable. Yeah, Fable's in February. Man. It's gonna be every year. Like, I don't think I'm like, man, this year can't be topped. And then we get to the next year, and it's like, man, we got some pretty damn good games.
With the exception of like 2024, what's kind of a lukewarm year for games, in my opinion.
What came out in 2024?
Exactly.
Well, I know 2023 because that's when Baldur's Gate came out. Tears of the Kingdom came out. Spider-Man 2 came out.
Pikmin 4
came out. Mario Wonder came out. Metroid Prime Remastered came out. Engage came out. Yeah, that was a pretty damn good year, too.
Did you say Zelda?
Yes, Tears of the Kingdom.
I guess 2024 did it have Elden Ring DLC? Shadow of the Erdtree?
It did, yeah. Shadow of the Erdtree. Yeah.
Okay.
So that's
maybe just not a great year for Nintendo. Because they were kind of in that.
Yeah, they were in that weird kind of
before the Switch too.
Yeah, and I don't think they really had anything else for like Peach Showtime came out in 2024, which was kind of a dud.
Echoes of Wisdom
came out that year.
It's Mario and Luigi Brothership. I like that one, but like not the heavy hitters.
Not the heavy hitters. Yeah. So.
Anyway,
yeah, Rebirth is absolutely fantastic. Just kind of, I keep saying I'm slowly chipping away at it, but
seems like
I think I put in like 15 hours last week, and I think like 5 or 6 of those hours were I was up to like 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning one night playing.
Damn.
And then I think last Sunday I was up until like 1 playing it. So yeah, I love this game a lot. Like I played it so much on Sunday that I was dreaming about the game that night. So, yeah, what a damn good game. All right, Nick, where do you want to start? Do you want to start with Halo or Splatoon?
Let's start with Halo.
Okay.
Yeah. I guess I'll start because I don't think I've played as much as you.
Yeah, I've finished it.
Oh, shit. Okay, never mind. I've not played as much as you. Let's start with the prequel missions.
Okay,
because that's just what I've had the most experience with. But there's for those who are unaware, there's 3 new prequel missions with Sergeant Johnson where you're basically doing like a heist on a Covenant ship.
It takes place 1 year before the events of Halo 1, and I think you're trying to find like some
there's like intel
on a ship or something that you're trying to find, something like that.
Yeah, so it's just you and Sergeant Johnson kind of going through this ship, and it's kind of cool. Like it has like an outdoors section that's
a simulation, I guess. I'm not really sure. I was a little confused.
See, like the paneling.
Yeah. I guess it was like a combat simulation or something like that.
Yeah.
Which I guess makes sense because that's why they would capture the Marines, right? And then use them in the simulation, maybe.
Guess. I kind of forgot where we were in that section. I was like,
yeah. Well, because it comes out and you're like, I'm like, did I miss a chapter or something?
Did I miss a cutscene?
Yeah.
But yeah, the missions themselves were I thought really cool.
Yeah. It felt like it kind of mixed in perfectly with Halo 1. Like there wasn't anything like crazy new, design wise or anything like that we hadn't seen before. Which I think is I think it's fine. But seeing like the brutes for like the first, like because the brutes weren't in Halo 1, but they're in here. But it looks like they use some sort of like machinery to kind of control them in a way. I'm not really sure how they're different in Halo 2 and beyond. Like, I'm not really sure what changed, and maybe we'll learn more about that, in I don't know, Halo 2 remaster or something like that. Who knows? But it was cool seeing like the brutes like in Halo 1, more or less.
Yeah, and that was like a fun gameplay mechanic too. Of like when you shoot that red spot, they go berserk.
Yeah.
And then they come running at you at full speed, which is kind of scary. But
yeah. Very cool.
Yeah, it was kind of fun. Like, had a good time with it. I think it was like an hour and a half total to get through
like
those pre-cool missions, and then that kind of that last section of the last mission. I won't spoil it for anyone who hasn't played it, but very cool section. I thought it had a very good ending.
Yeah.
I think my one issue with it is the environments, like the corridors, kind of looked a little bit samey because it all takes place on a ship.
I mean, that's Halo in general. Like it can be a little. It can get a little bit confusing on where to go. Luckily, like in the game, they always show you like the exact spot where to go and kind of cookie crumb you along. But that's where it can get a little bit samey, and then and the ships and stuff like that.
But otherwise, that was great. Yeah.
I really enjoyed the prequel missions, especially that last mission where it was in the trailer, but when you're in space, you're doing like the dogfighting stuff.
Oh yeah, that was
that stuff was awesome. I really like that. We don't really get that too much in Halo games. I know it was in Reach.
Yeah,
and that was a really cool mission because I think that was the first time you actually flew in space at all. I can't remember if it was any other Halo games. I'm sure it was probably in 4 or 5, maybe, but I can't quite remember. I need to go back and play like 4 and 5 but anyways. But yeah, really like the prequel missions. And I played through the entire campaign, played at a normal difficulty, which I guess I just don't remember this game, but it is not easy. It is quite difficult, especially towards the end, when the Flood come into play. And then all of a sudden you've got the Flood and the Covenant kind of going at each other and yourself.
Yeah.
Because there are so many enemies that at some point, I don't know if the game just wants you to just run through them. But I died so many times at this one specific spot, probably like 20 times. I was getting really frustrated. I was like, man, like, what do they want me to do?
I think you're supposed to run through them.
Well, I did, but then it puts you into this corridor, and you've got, all the basic Flood enemies attacking you, and then the Flood are actually attacking some of the dead bodies and bringing them back to life, and then all of a sudden you're fighting like the elite Flood people.
Yeah,
and it's just a lot going on. So yeah, I was getting a little bit frustrated with the Flood enemies towards the end, but yeah, it runs great. It's really, really cool seeing like the SMG in Halo 1 that wasn't there before. And maybe I'm misremembering, but I don't think the sword was available in Halo 1. So that was really cool having that in there. Pistol is still like absolutely an OP weapon. The only performance issues that I came across was the cutscenes. The cutscenes kept stuttering. I don't really understand that because otherwise, like the actual game itself was running flawlessly, at 60 or higher, or whatever. I don't know, but
I don't understand.
Yeah, I don't really get that. But like all the cutscenes, like when they were working and stuff, like they were all great. They added some cool like moments into the game that are different from Halo 1, like the original Halo. Yeah, I think this is now, if they fix that cutscene stuff, which is not the biggest issue in the world, as long as the game runs good. I mean, that's all that really matters. It's still just kind of a weird thing, but this is like the definitive way to play Halo. I mean, it is, yeah. And I know people, I'm talking a lot, but I know people are still complaining about the multiplayer not being there, but like, come on, realistically, like they would have added the 10 maps are in Halo 1. People would have played it for a week and then moved on. Like, let's be realistic, because they're not going to add a whole bunch of.
They're not going to add a ranking system.
They're not going to add a ranking system. They're not going to add like unlocks and stuff like that. Like, they're just not going to do that. And yes, it would have been cool if it was there, but again, like most people would have played it for a week and that would have been it, and then we would have moved on into something new. So
yeah, I'd almost rather them like put efforts into a new Halo multiplayer project and then bring in some Halo 1 maps, like some of the good Halo 1 maps.
Yeah.
Same for Halo 2 and Halo 3 and Reach, but
yeah. I mean, it got me to boot up Halo Infinite. I played a match of they don't have a regular team slayer in that game. It's just ranked slayer, which is a little annoying. But anyways, I jumped into one match of ranked slayer. I was trash. Our team ended up winning though. We were down by like 8 or 9, and I had like the least kills and the most deaths, and I was like, man, this is my fault.
I'm washed.
And then we ended up rallying, and we won 50-49, so that was pretty cool. Yeah, I mean, Halo Infinite multiplayer is still like a lot of fun. I'm just not going to invest any more time into it because it's basically a dead game at this point. They opened up the battle pass thing or whatever, and they just call it like Halo Season Infinite or something like that. So and it's got a ton. Like I went through all the unlocks, and it's got probably 200 unlocks. So it'll give you something to do for a long time. And it's this is what I praised Halo back in the day, or Halo Infinite back in the day for, is you could always go back to the old battle passes, and play those. Like unlike pretty much every other game with the battle pass, you can't go back and play those. So I think that's a really, really cool idea that I wish more games did. But yeah, Halo campaign involved is excellent, and for $50, I mean,
it's a good deal.
Yeah, it's a good deal, or on Game Pass.
Yeah, I've only played the first mission of like the actual campaign, and then I got like part of the way into the second mission.
Yeah.
So I don't have too much to say about it, but yeah, I mean that first mission when you're on the ship and it starts going down, like it's just as good as I remember it. And I remember loving that mission when I would always just restart Halo and play the first couple of missions and then restart it again. Like I have such fond memories of like those first opening missions in Halo.
And the game is stunning. Like it is absolutely beautiful, especially when you get to the cartographer mission when you're on the beach. That's like the ultimate, or I guess like the most nostalgic, I would say, level for Halo 1. For I think most people. That is gorgeous on Xbox.
Oh, I bet.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Can't wait to get into it. We're
planning on doing are we going to do Legendary run? Is that what we're going to do?
Oh, we'll see.
Yeah.
See the vibe is. I mean, I assume so.
I'm down for it.
Yeah.
And then just unlock all the achievements and stuff. Like, yeah, I haven't booted up my Xbox in so long, and
dude,
it felt good to play it again. I mean, I know I played like a little bit of Forza. My son has played way more Forza than I have at this point. So yeah, feels good to be back.
My non-Switch 2 consoles are just collecting dust right now. PlayStation is struggling to breathe.
Yeah, and PlayStation I only play because of Fortnite. That's where I mainly play, because I was having issues with Xbox, like being able to hear people or them hearing me. So I don't know what was up with that. And then PlayStation 5 worked just fine with that. So I don't know. All right, well, let's jump over into Splatoon Raiders, the spin-off Splatoon game from Nintendo, single player extraction shooter light,
looter shooter.
Looter shooter. No, it's PvE, no PvP or PvE, whatever.
PvPvE.
PvPvE. Yeah. I don't know, man. Where do you want to start with this game? Because you and I are both very high on it. You're saying it's your number one game of the year right now. Maybe. We'll see.
We'll see after we finish it.
But this game is that good.
I guess let's start. Let's start with the premise of it, right? So you're flying with the main characters from Splatoon 3, and you're going to an island, and the helicopter crashes, and you crash land. A month goes by, you've built out a base off of the island, and then the game revolves around you going on these raids to various spots on these various islands.
Yeah, so it's kind of like a Mario map, where you launch into the level from your base. If you want to look at it that way, you have your overworld. But like you very much can run around on your boat, and that's where you upgrade all of your gadgets, and you can tinker and upgrade your health and your gadget damage, and
upgrade your weapons.
Yeah, upgrade your weapons, which I haven't touched yet because I wanted to find like a weapon. I didn't want to upgrade a weapon and then find a better weapon. That's kind of the ever-ending problem with a looter shooter type of game, is there's always that next best weapon, like almost every single level. Yeah, so it's like, when do you commit? And I assume level 50 is the highest, but I don't know for sure. I've seen people when I've teamed up with people, I've seen people up in the 40s.
Yeah, I think
whichever I do team up with them, I'm like, yes, we're gonna win.
Yeah,
they have good stuff
in the bag. Like they're level 40, and it's been 3 days since the game came. Yeah, they're locked in.
Yeah.
And then as far as the mission structure is concerned, there's like 5 different types of missions. There's the longer ones where you're collecting the crystals.
Yeah, that's more of like the level based ones where you're kind of just going. It's more linear, right? Is that the ones you're talking about?
I'm talking about the ones that are open where like it's you go to this different thing and
you're trying to collect the salmonid the eggs, right? Was that what they're called? The orange spheres? Yeah.
Yeah. There's that one. There's the linear levels that you mentioned.
Yeah.
There's the raids where you're going down 3 sub levels and you're facing like hordes of enemies in each level.
Yeah.
There's like the one-off raids where you're doing 1 sub level, and then there's the like gadget specific levels that feel like shrines in
like you're talking about where you use the compass to find.
Yeah, the ones with the compass.
Yeah, I did a couple of those for the first time I think yesterday, and I was like, man,
yeah, they're
awesome.
Fun.
Yeah.
And then there's like the actual bosses, like the full scale bosses that you face as well. But yeah. So there's a lot of different types of missions, and then as Harrison mentioned, like in between raids or in between rounds, like that's kind of where the bread and butter takes place, where you're upgrading your gadgets, you're tinkering, you're building out your base, upgrading your base.
You're making builds, man. Like you're making builds because there's 3 different tanks. You have your speed, power, and a tactical tank, and they all come with various gadgets and abilities with those specific tanks. But then once you level up that tank to a certain amount, like you may be able to pull in other abilities from other tanks. So there's a lot of like options, and you're not. I mean, you're never stuck with one. Like you can always swap at any point during between each raid. You can swap whatever tank you want. So you're not locked into a tank like the whole game, which is really cool. So yeah, just a lot of like just options in this game.
Like, there's a lot of synergies between the gadgets. Like before you and I stopped playing, we discovered the synergy between, and this is with the speed tank, but with the jump, like the explosion jump, and then right after you land, you boost up in the air, and you can shoot out bombs. Like that's just those marry together so well, and then you can, once you get the ability to bring in other gadgets from other tanks, you can further optimize that, so you can just do like this big old 1-2 punch every 5 to 10 seconds.
Hey, Pope, I'm not sure when you commented, but yes, technically it does have an online mode. Like it's 4-player co-op.
So you can link up with
3 other
random people.
Yeah.
Or you can link up with your friends. Like Harrison and I, we played together for a couple of hours.
Yeah. It was a couple hours. I don't know. So there is if you're stuck on a raid or something like that, or any level in general, there's a call to help button. So you go to that level, you hit minus or select or whatever on the Pro controller, and it'll basically send out a signal to other players to come into your raid for just one raid, and hopefully help you beat it. So it's kind of like I think they have it like Monster Hunter too, like where you can send out like stuff like that. And then like there's incentives too, because if you go, because once you go to the main area and you go onto the map, you can help you. There's like a help button, so you answer those calls. And for the first one you do, or I think it's every 20 minute increments, 21 minute increments, you get like bonus
Spiralite shards.
Yeah, Spiralite shards, which are the shards you use to upgrade. That's like the main currency in the game. So there's incentives to helping people. But yes, I don't know if you can just link up to like 3 random people and just play. I think in order to like get a full squad, I think you have to know them, right? That they've been on your friends list.
I have heard a trick.
I would assume so.
Yeah, I think that's the case. I have heard a trick where if you go in and you look for, if you like going online and you have to like type in a code to get put into a lobby, if you just type in Splatoon, chances are you'll find a lobby.
Somebody. Okay.
Yeah. So if anyone's like looking for persistent people to play with, then that's
cool.
Allegedly a pretty good way to do it.
Yeah. And most levels, I mean, you can probably get through. I mean, it's not not too difficult a game. And I really haven't, like, other than going back to the levels, because like at the end of each island, there's like the big raid you do, and there's different items you get for beating it with a specific tank. So other than that, and I've gone back and done some spicy raids, which is like the harder raid variants of that specific raid. So there is options to grind essentially, and you're progressing. You're getting more items each time you do it. So I haven't really felt like I wasted time, going back and going to stuff that I've just in order to, geez, I just said the word
grind.
Grind, yeah. So every raid feels important. Every raid feels like you're getting something out of it.
Right, you're progressing in some way, and like even if you're replaying the same level again, like the loot that's dropped from the enemies is different. So you could get a different weapon. You could get a higher rarity weapon.
Yeah,
I guess we didn't mention this, but like there's rarity to the weapons themselves, and then to the gadget parts. Those also have a rarity.
Yeah.
So there's a lot to strive for, and there's just a million ways to build out your character, which is so smart. Like
there's so much customization in this game. I really didn't expect this much, but man, once I got into like the thick of it, I was like, this is awesome. Like there's always something to strive for. It's great.
And then seeing how many enemies the game can throw at you at once,
and it runs so good. Like I haven't had any sort of issues with frame rate at all. There's no way this could have ran on Switch 1. It would have exploded the Switch.
Not. I'm glad. Like I'm glad this is a Switch 2 exclusive, because it means they could just throw the kitchen sink at you, and that's exactly what they've done here. And I couldn't be happier. I couldn't be happier that they went in this direction after Splatoon 3 and did this spinoff game. Like
it was kind of needed, because like I mean, I love Splatoon, I love the series, but once you got to 3, especially 3 for me, like I love the single player stuff. I didn't play the side order expansion, but like the multiplayer, it felt so samey. Like there wasn't really much difference, and I was never like the biggest salmon run person, especially because like I remember, I don't know how it was with 3, but with 2, it was like locked. There was only a certain time you could actually do it, which was weird. So I just never really got to experience it, because I'm not gonna I'm not gonna work around Splatoon, for my day to day. The Splatoon team I think is underrated. Yeah, I think it's one of the best. I mean, this is obviously not a multiplayer game, in the normal sense, but yeah, the Splatoon series is definitely underrated, I think.
The team is fantastic, and the fact that they've put out 4 games. Yeah, 11 games. 4 games in 11 years.
Yeah, and expansions and constant free, just constantly updating the game with free stuff.
Introducing the Splatfest and Splatoon 1 was such a good way to get people engaged and like build up this like surface level rivalry. Like, oh, I'm Team Ketchup. Yeah. Fuck Mayo. Like,
yeah.
I used to get so heated, man, when the results would come at the end and the team I chose lost. I'm like, dude, I carried every game that I played. Like, oh, who was it? Who was it that was losing?
Who was this? I don't remember Splatoon 1 being broken multiplayer wise. I guess there wasn't a single player, but
Splatoon 1 was annoying that you can only play 2 maps every 2 maps in a 2-hour increment. So like if you were playing for a night, you were only rotating between 2 maps. Maybe that's
that was a little strange. That was certainly a choice.
That was weird. That was definitely them like figuring out.
But it was exciting though. Whenever the map would change, and you're like, "Oh, map rotation, let's go."
Let's be honest. Like anything on the Wii U was exciting, because the Wii U didn't have too much going on.
No, I mean, I bought like after you brought your Wii over to my house that one time, and we played a few hours of Splatoon, and that convinced me to go drop money on a Wii U and Splatoon, and I'm glad I did, because I ended up picking them a few other games up too. But Splatoon 1, like coming out on the Wii U and doing as well as it did on a undersold platform, and and then carrying over to the Switch, like the buzz carried over to Switch with Splatoon 2, and like, man, the franchise is so awesome. I really hope with 4 they obviously keep Turf War, right, but expand upon it, change it up in some sort of way to make it fresh, right?
Yeah. And that's what I thought they were going to do with 3. Like when they first revealed 3, they showed the inkling, like walking in the desert, was like, oh, they're gonna kind of go off the rails here and do something really interesting, and it ended up being a good single player campaign, but it was similar to Splatoon 2, and then the multiplayer was pretty similar to 2 and 1, just iterated on. I mean, Splatoon 3 plays the best out of all three of them, but I put the least amount of time into 3.
Yeah, I did too. I probably played the most out of 2. And then once I was done with the single player with 3, which I really liked, I played a little bit of multiplayer, but it just didn't quite hit the same that 2 did for me.
So all that being said, like, super glad they went this direction with Splatoon Raiders. Like, it feels like this franchise was made for a looter shooter with just how many different weapons there are and how many different like cool mechanics there are to Splatoon in general.
Yeah.
Splatoon 1 specials were overpowered and obnoxious.
I'm gonna take your word for that. I don't remember it, but again, like 1, 2, and 3, they blend together for me. Like I couldn't tell you what was a 2 map versus a 3 map. Like they all kind of, and I think like 2 even had all the maps from 1.
I think they brought them
over. So, but yeah, you're probably right, Paul.
Trying to think of like any specific Splatoon 1.
Wasn't like the storm one, like wasn't that one pretty overpowered where you activated the storm and it would like cover half the map with rain? Oh, yeah. That one was pretty overpowered, I think. But I felt like that was also in 2 and 3. So I don't know. Maybe they dialed it down a little bit.
The Splatoon 3 definitely felt more balanced.
Yeah.
Like I don't remember hating a specific special or weapon. Yeah. But I mean, Splatoon, like it was so exciting getting those like
weapon drops. Killer whale. I'll have to go back and watch a YouTube video for this.
Killer whale. That was that was bad. Kraken, because you just turned, because you can just like flop or like float through the entire map with this big ass Kraken. Like you turn to a big Kraken.
Okay, that's cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, Splatoon Raiders, I think is a must play. I think it is probably top 3 first party Switch 2 games right now. Like it is absolutely fantastic. Like I think it's a must play, and for $50 digitally, I mean, it's a steal. Like you're definitely getting your money's worth for it. Yes, it doesn't have Turf War, but don't be like that guy that reviewed it and gave it like
a 6 out of 10.
Okay, I don't know what we can possibly do, but we need to take some power away from these reviewers and maybe like force these websites to actually like edit their reviewers like reviews, because the couple of Switch 2 reviews or Splatoon reviews I'm talking about is the one where the guy was bitching about the controls, like he doesn't like gyro controls, and you can literally turn it off within the first 5 seconds of the game. Like you immediately go into the menu and turn it off, which is what I did.
Which is crazy to me, but
I know a lot of people play with gyro controls. I know that's like probably the way most people play, honestly.
Yeah.
Especially I think over in Japan where it's very huge. But that, and then they were also criticizing the game for, I think this was a different review, but they were criticizing the game because it didn't have Turf War, which is an absurd thing to say about a game that you're reviewing, where it never implied that it was going to have any sort of multiplayer. Like it was very clear that this is a spin-off single player adventure. Yeah. Now you can critique Splatoon 4. If Splatoon 4 doesn't have Turf War, then yes, I think that is a valid critique. But for a game that never had it, I don't think it's
a valid complaint.
I don't think it's a valid complaint. And I feel very the same way about Halo Campaign Evolved. Yes, I know it doesn't have multiplayer. I know that the original did, but I don't think you can deduct a score from a game where it told you it didn't have it. You know what I mean? Like I get it
for something it didn't do,
but I don't think you can. You could say in your review, "Hey, I don't. I wish multiplayer was there," but I don't think you should be able to take away any points because of that. I think that's I think that you should critique the game as it is presented. Again, Splatoon 4 doesn't have Turf War. Sure, I think that's a valid critique. But for this, where there's no PvP at all, that's bullshit. And I think these reviewers need to be held to higher standards. And I don't know what is in the water with these reviewers these last couple of years, but they suck. They just do.
Yeah, and that 4 out of 10, and it was really a 2 out of 5, but it translates to a 4 out of 10, which makes it look worse. But they gave it a 2 out of 5 because they've played a lot of other looter shooters before, and they don't think it does anything different. Well, that's like every game. Like,
yeah.
Not every game is going to do something completely new, and like Splatoon is probably the coolest iteration of this because it's a Splatoon game. Like,
yeah.
Fundamentally, it plays way different than like a Borderlands or an Arc Raiders or a Destiny or whatever have you, because it has those Splatoon mechanics.
Yeah. And I'm sorry, like, even if you don't like the game, I think like you need to go back to the drawing board on your scale, your 1 out of 10 scale, because 4 should be something that is like a fundamentally broken game where the mechanics don't work at all. Like, that's what that should be held for. And the fact that you may not like the game, and that's fine, but putting that at a 4, that is such a mislead for your readers, because then you look at a 4 and you're like, oh, this game is trash, you know?
Yeah.
So I just don't agree with some of these reviewers out here and the stuff that they're talking about. And there was one Halo review where the guy was like went on a complete tangent about how Xbox has mismanaged the studios, and I was like, what are you fucking talking about?
Like, how does that
have anything to do with this game? Like, you cannot take how Xbox has mistreated the studio, or not mistreated, but mismanaged the studios and all of Xbox's shortcomings over the years. You cannot put that into a review of a game where people come to your website to, trust you as a reviewer to see if they want to get the game or not. When you're ranting about how studios operate, it makes no sense to me. And shame on whoever that editor's person is, like their manager, for even allowing that thing to go, I'm pretty
sure I've seen that with another Xbox game review. I think it was within the past year. Yeah, maybe it was a dollar or something.
Absurd. And I think one of those Splatoon reviews, I went to go to that website and they pulled that review down. So I don't know if they ever re-uploaded it or not, but
I was just so shocked because I read the IGN review and the Nintendo Life reviews first. I was like, oh my god, this is gonna be a banger. Like, this is and it is, but like, this is gonna be a 90+ game.
Yeah.
And then I went to the Metacritic and OpenCritic. What the hell? Of course it's at an 80. Of course, because there's always one or two reviewers that didn't. And it's fine.
It's like the Nintendo, it's the Nintendo tax. And again, I don't know if we talked about it last week, but maybe this was when we were playing Splatoon. Like, I 100% believe that whenever Ocarina of Time comes out, it's going to get like an 82, because there's going to be somebody bitching about something where it's not a 1-to-1 remake, or this shouldn't exist, or it deviates too far, or there's voice acting, or Navi's so annoying. But it's like, but that same game back in 1998 or 7 got reviewed, and Navi was just as annoying then. Like, are we? This is going back to the Miles stuff too with Metroid Prime 4. Like, people are. He wasn't really that bad. Like, I understand that it's a Metro game and it's more of a Solitude game, but I didn't really find him annoying. I liked when he came onto the radio, but that's just me.
Yeah.
These were, I don't know. I got some beef. Crazy. These people.
But Splatoon Raiders.
Yes, fantastic game.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Recommend it. Yeah,
and for $50, like, Nintendo's been on such a good. They've been on a tear this summer between Star Fox at $50, Rhythm Heaven at $40, and then this and Splatoon Raiders at $50. Like, this is like a budget summer for Nintendo. It's awesome.
I would argue that most of the games that they put out, I think their reviews should be higher, like at least by 2 or 3 points.
Star Fox especially.
Yeah, Star Fox was fantastic.
Rhythm Heaven, I think so. I think that should be like low to mid 80s. I think it's sitting at an 80.
Yeah.
Yoshi, underrated.
We'll see when Fire Emblem comes out. Like, if Fire Emblem scores real low, that's
I'm gonna have an actual crash out if Fortune's Weave scores anywhere close to Engage's.
Yeah, because I guess that was the last Fire Emblem that came out, right?
Yeah, that one got an 80. And that one was a deserved 80.
Yeah, I mean, it was it was an anniversary game, right? It was it's
and like
in a way,
I don't think the characters weren't great, the writing wasn't great, but the gameplay was phenomenal. So
all right, so I'm going down the list of Fire Emblem games here. So Fire Emblem Three Houses scored an 89. Engage was an 80. Fire Emblem Awakening was a 92. Fire Emblem Warriors, we won't count that, but that was an 80. Fire Emblem Conquest, 87. Birthright, 86. Fates, that's a special edition. I'm not sure what that one is. That one got an 88. That was on the 3DS. Shadows of Valencia on the 3DS. Valentia, that was an 81. Path of Radiance, 85. Fire Emblem Radiant Dawn, 78. Pretty low.
Yeah.
Shadow Dragon, 81. The original Fire Emblem, which I know that's different in Japan, but the one that came out on Game Boy Advance, just Fire Emblem 1, 88. Sacred Stones, 85. So this series is consistently up in the upper 80s.
Yeah.
If this comes out and it's like a 80, 79 or something crazy, yeah, there might be we might have to figure something out.
With what we've seen of Fortune's Weave, it seems like it's taking the best of Three Houses and honestly, like potentially the best of Engage too, from a gameplay perspective. I don't see a world where this gets below an 85, but I thought the same thing for Star Fox, and that scored low 80s, and I thought the same for I don't know what else, but
yeah,
it should be this. Fortunately, we should be a high 80s, low 90s.
I mean, I think Metro Prime 4 should have been higher than what it got.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know it's not the best Prime game out there.
What
but like a 78? I don't know if I agree with that. I would say like more. And I know we're 4-point difference, but so we're pulling the straws here, but still.
Yeah, but it does matter. Like it matters for perception of the game, and
it does. Yeah,
whether or not people pick it up. Like
because then you had people come. If Metro Prime 4 would have came out and got like an 84, maybe 85, where I think it should be. I feel like that's the range that it should be in.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think there would have been nearly as much controversy around that game, because this game's obviously in development hell for a long time. And I like this. I like that game a lot.
Yeah.
So, but at the end of the day, like all these Switch 2 games are scoring around the 80s. And they're all really great. They're all a lot of fun, which is which matters the most.
Yeah. Yeah. Having a ton of fun with all these games.
Yeah. All right, Nick, any last thoughts on Raiders, or have you played anything else?
I'm just really excited to see what the end game looks like, because I've heard it's pretty bonkers.
Yeah, I've heard good things about that too. So yeah, I'm excited to see what it is. All right, well, let's jump over into the news. So just perfect timing for all this stuff, but both Xbox and PlayStation have suffered on online outages the last couple of days. I think PlayStation, is PlayStation back up? I'm not 100% sure. I know it was out on the weekend, and Xbox is suffering some today. And people are having trouble accessing their digital games because it's tied to the account. And if you can't log in, you can't play these games. And that's where most people are upset about, because you don't own the games. There's no way to download them. There is a way to download them, but they require authentication. So again, perfect timing for all the nonsense that's been going around in this industry. It makes you question, like, is an all digital future, is this a good thing or not? Whether you're already in the ecosystem or not, all digitally. Now you see where I think other people are coming from, where we have these worries where if something happens to these companies or they get hacked or something like that, you're screwed. You can't play the games that you paid for, which sucks.
Like the games you have digitally downloaded, like that's insane that you can't access them on your console if your internet goes out. And it's because you don't have ownership over it.
Yeah, insane. Yeah. So I know I don't know if Xbox is. I know they're obviously working on it, but I don't know if they've got that up and running. I haven't tried to log into Xbox today.
They've put out like 50 tweets today saying they're working on it.
Yeah.
Like, bro, just tell me when it's up. Like,
Yeah.
don't.
Yeah. So yeah, very, very, very frustrating in the midst of all this craziness. But yeah. Metro Prime 4 we were just talking about, but there may be some DLC based off of I don't have the actual article pulled up in front of me, but it was someone that works, in retro in their LinkedIn profile mentioned something about some 4 DLC, whether that's a full-on expansion or some minor DLC. We don't actually know that, but that could be something that's coming. Nintendo could still be celebrating, Metroid's 40th anniversary. So that could tie into if they decide to have its own dedicated direct, or tie along with the announcement for Metroid. What's the rumored game? Or the one that got rated? Ravenous. That could tie into that or something like that. So I think that would be really cool. That Metro Prime 4 obviously ended on a pretty big cliffhanger, and I would like to see that resolved. I hope we get a Metro Prime 5, but they've already spent all this money on Prime 4 on that game. And, if they can spend, a small DLC or an expansion off of that where, it's not going to cause them to have to make something from the ground up for Prime 5. Like, this is a good way to, try to make some more money off of that game. Right. So, I think it makes sense.
What would you even do with this though? Like outside of, trying to tie to Ravenous, which,
well, not tied to Ravenous specifically, but like, you announce Ravenous and you're like, hey, by the way, Metro Prime 4 expansion coming out or something like that. Yeah.
But even like expanding on the ending of the game, like is that the direction you go? Do you save that for Prime 5 or do you do something like completely different? Build out a separate game mode in Prime 4, like not like a roguelike mode, but it's something of that caliber where you can just kind of go back to it whenever you want and get a new experience. I don't know. Like, do they add a new dungeon to go to?
Yeah, like a new biome or something like that. Biome. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what they would. Yeah, I'm not sure what they would do.
Would you go back to it if they put out a DLC?
Yeah, I would.
Yeah, I think so. Maybe a racing game.
Put in Mario Kart.
Yeah.
Yeah. If it's just like a boss rush mode or something like that, which did they have that one in Prime 4 yet? Or
no, they haven't in Dread though.
I know. It was in Dread. Dread didn't get an expansion, but it got some DLC and stuff like that.
I got like the boss rush.
Yeah.
A new difficulty mode.
Yeah, so maybe they do something like that. Maybe it's a pretty light update or something.
Yeah.
We'll see. Hopefully it's more actual content, but we'll have to wait. Coming out of Comic-Con over the weekend, was it Comic-Con?
Yeah, I think it
was. Yeah. Santa Monica came out and stated that God of War Laufey is launching on February 16th of 2027, which I think is where most people thought where that game would, maybe not necessarily February, but I think a lot of us thought it was going to be early 2027 because, for one, they said it's going to be on disc. So we know it's coming out during 2027 at some point. And the fact that they showed off so much of that game, it looks like it's pretty close to being finished, which is awesome. Like I as much as I love, getting into the new Zelda, but it's going to be years away. Like I love a game getting announced and being out within a year or less. That's always like my favorite way a game gets announced. So that is very, very exciting. I'm very much looking forward to this game. I love the God of War series. I love the last two. And then they also came out and said, hey, for you naysayers that don't want to play as a woman, we got Kratos coming back. Obviously, that's going to tie in directly to Laufey. So it's going to be an important game to play if you want that full story experience. So
yeah,
very cool.
I think this will be good for the series, like doing something a little bit different before going back to Kratos and having kind of that similar game experience that you had with 2018 and with Ragnarok. So it feels like Splatoon a little bit, like kind of deviate a little bit, do something different, and then fans will be pining for something.
Get back to the bread and butter, I guess.
To get back to bread and butter,
if you want to call it that.
And I hope Spider-Man does something like that too. Like I hope their next Spider-Man related game is a non.
I think
Spider-Man.
The rumor is after Wolverine, they're going to do a Venom game. Potentially, and then maybe tie into Spider-Man 3. That could be wrong, but that's what I've heard.
Yeah, be good.
So, what happened to Need for Speed? EA killed it. I think they tried to make it like an annual franchise at one point, and it just didn't sell. Super well. Need for Speed. I don't know if you ever played like Underground or Underground 2. Yeah, but I think one of those games came out like during like the hypeness of Fast and Furious, specifically Too Fast, Too Furious, where it was like the underground, like muscle cars and like having like the street glow and stuff like that. Like that was I think that was one of the first games that had stuff like that in there. Mm-hmm. And man, it was such a vibe. Like God, those first two games were awesome. And then Paradise was great. I really like Burnout. Well, it was Burnout Paradise, but I think it was Burnout 2 with like the car wrecking stuff where you had to. Oh yeah, it's similar to like the skate game, the mini game in Skate where you have to like damage your body. I thought that was such a cool little mini game. That was what it was for. I think Burnout Revenge is what I'm talking about. Yeah, Most Wanted and Carbon were also great. He had a pretty good run for Need for Speed games for a while.
There were a lot of them.
Yeah,
and there were a lot of like car games in general.
Yeah,
back in like 2010s. Peak night racing vibe. Yeah, Most Wanted. Sure. Good.
Yeah,
night racing.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Yeah, I think I had Most Wanted on the Wii U. Funnily enough.
Yeah. Those are. I mean, I would like to see like a remaster of those games and bring them back. At least in that, if they're not going to do like a completely new Need for Speed. Mm-hmm. I know. Is the last one they did it was the Criterion game, which they did Burnout and they put them on Need for Speed. And I think it was like the Cops and Robber game where you play as a cop or something like that. I'm not quite sure what that one was called, but it might have been called Need for Speed actually. Might have been like a rebid of the franchise.
Unbound?
No. I think it was just Need for Speed. The one I'm talking about, but there may have been a couple of more after that.
Oh, that was Need for Speed 2015.
Okay, yeah.
Developed
there were some other really cool games. Like I know
Criterion made Unbound.
There was the rally game, like where you play like off road. I can't remember. I think it was from Codemasters. Can't remember which one but that one you did like dirt rallies and stuff.
And there were so many.
And then there was Split, I think.
This is Need for Speed, or is this?
No, this was like a different car game. Maybe Split. I think it was the one. Yeah, there was a lot of like really cool, like interesting car games back in the day.
Yeah.
All right, and then our last story, Tomb Raider Catalyst, it got delayed to 2028. Obviously, Legacy of Atlantis was supposed to come out this year, ended up getting delayed till 2027. So ultimately, that caused this game to get delayed till 2028. Makes sense, they put out the second part, or both 1 and 2 for the Survivor Series onto Switch 2. The third one, Shadow, is probably coming at some point during this year. So we've had a lot of Tomb Raider. I know those are remasters of the original games, but we've had a lot of Tomb Raider here recently. Obviously, it's their 25th, 35th anniversary. I think it's 35th. So they're celebrating that. And then, Legacy of Atlantis comes out next year. So I doubt they would want to put two big Tomb Raider games out in 1 year. So I think that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. And like they're getting, I bet the Tomb Raider versions on Switch 2 are doing pretty well. Or at least like decently well
They're
enough.
usually in the top like 10, when they come out. Yeah. And they're priced well, $20. That's a great price for those games. Both those first two especially are really, really great games. The third one's not as good, and I don't think that was made by
It wasn't.
It wasn't made by Crystal Dynamics. It was made by a different team. So it wasn't quite as good, but it was still solid.
Yeah. Well, one more story, and this comes from kind of an unknown source, but apparently Fable has run uncontrollably beyond budget throughout its development period, which makes a ton of sense. I mean, this game has been in development since at least 2020.
Yeah.
And
probably,
2026. And, they're developing for PS5 as well. It's coming to PC. So, like, I think that very much makes sense, and hopefully this game does really well and makes that money back. But it's not surprising. I think every Xbox game is probably running uncontrollably over budget at this point. But
yeah,
it is what it is. I mean, we've heard a lot about the mismanagement of these studios under Xbox, and I don't think this is an exception.
No. And hopefully, like, after we get through Gears, like, I'm very excited for Gears, but once we get past Gears, we get to Fable, and hopefully it's a really good game. You know, it looks like it's gonna be really cool, like all the mechanics, and you know, it looks awesome. Like, I cannot wait to play it. Hopefully it's good and it runs well. And then after that, like, you know, they sold or they're getting rid of, you know, State of Decay 3, you know, so that one's not coming out. That was the one in the, you know, the infamous 2020, you know, direct they had back then, showcase. And half those games are either canceled or haven't came out yet. They will be in one of them. Yeah, I mean, who knows when it's hard to say with Xbox.
Yeah.
But we shall see with them. And I don't think Fable has anything to worry about, because I mean, like, you know, it's a RPG, and you know, God of War Laufe is, I would say it's got RPG elements, but I don't think that game is gonna I don't think that game's gonna cause any sales problems with Fable.
Yeah.
So, and whatever else comes out in February, I think most people have to just get past GTA 6, and then we'll open the floodgates.
Yeah.
If
it comes out.
Yeah. Maybe it gets delayed.
We'll see.
It gets delayed to February.
So someone was like teasing on Twitter or something that like a big game in 2026 is getting delayed into 2027. And everyone was like, please God, don't be Zelda or GTA.
No, it's definitely not Zelda.
You don't think it'd be Zelda?
No, we'll see that game. I mean, we'll see it here probably within the next couple of weeks, I would imagine. With that November 5th release date, I think that first weekend, November. The psychopaths on YouTube and Twitter want this game to be out same day as GTA, or the day before, makes zero sense. Like, I know it's Nintendo, and they kind of do their own thing, but even they're not dumb enough to release it on the same day like this. Yeah. All the air out of the room is going to be taken out because it's GTA 6. Like, GTA 6 is bigger than Zelda. Like, it just is.
Just release it 2 weeks before.
Yeah, just do it the first week in November. Plenty of time for people to play it, and it'll be an evergreen title too as well. So, like, it'll sell for quite a while. But yeah. Do you think any more games get delayed out of like September, October? Or do you think we're kind of getting too close to that?
I think there will be one more.
Like the Dustbloods, man. I just don't see that game coming out this year. I just don't.
I mean, it would have to come out in October.
I mean, I know we're getting the network test next month, and I assume it's going to launch with a trailer or something, like to hype up the game, right? With a release date, you know?
Well, I thought the network test announcement would get gameplay.
Well, I figured once like the day one of the network test starts, like they'll drop a trailer and say this is what the game is, or you know, give us like a deep dive.
I would do it before.
I don't know, dude. In this game, I don't know. Maybe I don't know when this game comes out.
Stills of a rat, and then
like Elden Ring comes out next month on the Switch too. I just don't know where Dustbloods can fit. I know it's FromSoft.
I think October,
but there's so much stuff coming out.
I think early October.
Yeah, maybe like first week or second week in October.
Yeah.
You know, it's on the Switch too, so like not everything. You know, if you're a Switch 2 only player, I mean, you know, there's gonna be stuff that just isn't on the Switch 2 right now. So maybe.
And if you're a FromSoft super fan, then you're gonna pick up a Switch 2 to play this. this will be a priority over other titles that are releasing in October for a lot of people.
Yeah.
If it's good.
Yeah. I'm excited for the Dust Bloods, but also I'm just kind of so about it. Like I guess once we see it, yeah, once we see it and like get and see like what the gameplay loop is, I'm sure I'll be more excited. But
yeah,
but I am ready for the next FromSoft proper single player thing, like Elden Ring 2 or Dark Souls 4 or whatever else they do.
Bloodborne 2.
Stop.
Yeah, Direct in a month will show a Zelda release date. I think so. Yeah, I think we'll get a Direct before the Switch 2 price increase in September.
Yeah.
That way people can go out and get their Switch 2 before it's $500.
Yeah.
They'll probably announce a Zelda Switch 2 edition as well.
Yeah. I mean, that's what the rumors are right now is some people are saying it's a Switch 2 edition with a controller, then some people just the normal
conjecture
know-it-all leakers that think they know everything. And
yeah, it's gonna be a controller and 2 Joy-Cons and a console.
Oh, actually, GameStop didn't actually leak the release. I'm still holding by that it's August 4th. That's when we're going to get the Direct.
Next week.
So that's a week and 1 day. 8 days, Nick, and we'll see.
I mean, that makes sense. Zelda. It's after Xenoblade. It's before Pacopia DLC.
And honestly, like, it could be this week. Like, is Xenoblade out this week?
Yeah.
Or was that last week? Is that this week?
Yeah,
it's just a Switch 2 edition. So like,
it's not crazy. Yeah.
Yeah. Once we got past Raiders, like I think it's fair game now. It's Zelda time.
Yeah, it's like now and then it's Fire Emblem is the next.
Yeah, and we'll probably get a Direct maybe like the first week or two in, maybe like the first week of September. Is my guess. I assume they'll do one for. I mean, they usually do a Direct for their games, right? Like, so
they'll do one for Zelda. I think they'll do one for Fire Emblem. I don't know if we'll have a general Direct
this year.
Yeah,
I don't know,
but they do need to reveal Metroid Ravenous.
Maybe I would love just a Metroid Direct. Like we've never had just a Metroid Direct.
Yeah,
did Dread have a Direct? I don't think it did.
No, well, it had that I think it had Treehouse coverage.
Okay, makes sense. Yeah, I would love like a 40th Metroid Direct. Like show like if we're gonna do the whole Star Fox thing, like you guys keep making Metroid games. Let's give it some love. Give us a Direct and get us hyped up.
Yeah, sure. Metroid Ravenous, Super Metroid remake, Metroid Prime 4 DLC. Maybe bring over 2 and 3 to the Switch 2 or Switch 1.
Yeah. Metroid Dread Switch 2 edition.
Yeah. Get just like 120 frames, 4K.
Add some DLC or something to it.
Yeah.
Tie it into the next Metroid or tie it into Ravenous maybe. That'd be cool.
Yeah.
I don't know. So much options.
So much to look forward to.
Yeah. All right, Nick. Anything else you want to talk about before we wrap up the show?
I think that's it, man.
Sweet. All right, guys. We appreciate everyone watching and listening, of course. If you can review us on your favorite podcasting platform of choice, that would be greatly, greatly appreciated. Like the stream whenever you can. If you guys decide to come in and watch us live, always like the stream. It definitely helps out with the algorithm. Yeah, we'll be back next week with more Splatoon Raiders talk. I'm sure we'll be probably closer to finishing that. We'll let you know how our Halo, our 4-player co-op Halo run goes.
We're gonna get absolutely demolished.
Yeah, on Legendary, we'll get destroyed. There's legitimately like 2 parts at the very end of that game where I'm like, I know this is possible on Legendary. like for real.
You've played it before on Legendary though.
I have, but
it was a long time ago.
It was a long time ago. And the checkpoints are so funny because it's not like a specific point. And I guess because it can't, because you can run through a level and the enemies do chase you. So like it would suck to get checkpointed right when you're getting killed. So it's always the checkpoints options or spots are always different. But yeah, it's gonna be a nightmare. All right, guys, we'll see you next week. Bye bye.
Bye.